Want to know how to create fun, colourful cards? Well, one way is simply using heat embossing on colourful cardstock. Heat embossing create really fun, bold pops of colour, and they can be used in so many different ways. Today I've got a trio of birthday cards for a more modern style. Hi, I'm Verity and welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog Pretty Little Button, where I make paper crafting tutorials for the everyday crafter. This video also features as part of the Wow Embossing Powder new release YouTube video hop, and I'll have more details about that later on in the video. So one of the trios that is released in this new release from Wow Embossing Powders is the Summer Scoops trio. This has three fun, colourful, bright colours. This first one is Orangeade, and this is a translucent embossing glitter with a lovely orange colour to it. The next colour is Razzleberry, and this is a really beautiful pink. It's a translucent powder again and has some lovely gorgeous glitter. And the last colour out of the trio is Lemon Sorbet. Now this is an opaque powder that has glitter, and this one works really well on dark coloured cardstock, as you'll see later on. Okay, so I'm going to use these embossing powders with 3 different stencils to create some really eye-catching backgrounds. So the first stencil I've got here is the Twisted Sunburst stencil from Catherine Pooler Designs. And I'm adhering a piece of Gina K Designs Lemon Drop cardstock, which is a lovely vibrant yellow, on the back. And I'm using some purple tape just to adhere it down to keep it in place to apply my embossing ink. And this will stop it from moving about whilst I'm doing that. So I'm using my Wow Clear Ultra Slow Drying Embossing Pad, and I'm using the direct to paper method and just pressing my pad down over the stencil, giving it a good press so the ink does transfer through the stencil onto the cardstock. And it's really important that you really give it a good coverage to ensure when you add your embossing powder, you're going to get a nice cover of embossing powder. So once I've done that, I'm just removing the stencil and all the tape around the edges to then heat emboss. So you can see the watermark effect it's given with the embossing ink. So the colour I'm using here is that Orangeade, that beautiful orange translucent powder that's got a lot of lovely glitter in it. And that just really pops off that yellow cardstock. Now with embossing glitter, the best thing to do to prevent the glitter from flying off whilst you're heating it is to heat it from behind. So here I've got my heat gun hot and ready, and I'm bringing it to the back of the cardstock to start melting that powder. And I'm just moving it around to ensure that I don't scorch any of the card, and also that I melt all the powder. Once you've done this, you can bring your gun to the front to then just finish it off, because the embossing glitter is now trapped in that melted powder. It won't fly off. And as you can see, there is this gorgeous orange colour with beautiful glitter in it, creating a lovely shine and a really eye-catching design. So for the second background, I have the Watercolour Stripes stencil. And again, I've adhered this over some innocent pink cardstock from Gina K Designs, a lovely soft pink. And I'm just using the exact same method of direct to paper using my Wow Clear Ultra Slow Drying Embossing ink, just to get a really good coverage of that ink over the stencil design. And then once I've done that, I can remove the stencil so I can cover it with my embossing powder. So from the trio, I am using Razzleberry for this background, and it's a lovely, gorgeous pink colour. I can't decide whether I like this or Lemon Sorbet more, but it's beautiful pink and it's got lovely iridescent glitter in it as well. So it's just got so much sparkle, and this would make a lovely little girl's birthday card. So again, I'm heating this from behind to prevent that glitter getting blown off before the powders had a chance to melt, and just trapping all that glitter in, and I can bring my gun back to the front to just finish it off. Now, as I said, this is a translucent powder, so it sort of darkens the colour a little bit as it melts, but you've still got that gorgeous pink, and I think it pairs really well with that lovely soft pink of the cardstock. Okay, so for the last card design, I'm using the Sphere stencil from Altenew, and I've offset this to one side, and again, using my Wow Clear Ultra Slow Drying Embossing ink to smoosh that down. And I'm being careful with this one because this is a bit more of a delicate stencil, so I don't want the ink to smudge underneath the stencil. And I'm covering this with lemon sorbet. Now, as I mentioned, lemon sorbet is an opaque powder out of these three. So when this melts on the dark colour cardstock, you'll still see that bright yellow colour. Whereas if we'd used translucent, the two previous powders on them, which is translucent, when that's melted over this dark colour cardstock, you wouldn't really see the orange or the red colour as much. Okay, so again, heating this one from behind because it does have some glitter in it as well, so it adds a little bit of sparkle and shine. And because of that opaque nature of the powder, that yellow powder just really pops on dark coloured cardstock like this. So I really love how this looks. I think it gives it a really modern, bold look to the card, and is perfect, I think, for a masculine card as well, even though it has some glitter in it. So I'm not going to show too much of how I go into making the rest of the cards. They're pretty simple. I've die cut some happies from using different dies. On the left, that is using the PinkFresh Studio Leah's Ornate Lowercase die set, and I've die cut the letters out to spell happy. The middle card is an Altenew happy word die, and the right hand card is a happy die from Fawn. Now for the two full word die cuts, I've die cut them 3 times each, and then I'm just going to layer them up with some adhesive just to create a little bit more dimension. And then with the one on the left, the pink card, those have all been die cut just once, those letters, and then I'm going to adhere them with some foam pad just to give those a bit more dimension. And to complete all of those cards, I then did add a birthday, a heat emboss sentiment just to add to the front of those cards to finish them off. In addition, I also added a few Nouveau drops using the Vintage Drops Chalk Stick drop set. As I mentioned, this is part of a video hop to celebrate Wow Embossing Powder's new release. At the top of the description box, you will find a link to the next person in the lineup. I hope you take time to watch all the hop videos because we love to see your comments and thumbs up. If you aren't already a subscriber, why not think about subscribing? You will see some great inspiration out there. Click on the little bell as well so you don't miss out on any of my videos in the future. You can also use the hashtag Wow Embossing Powder to find all the videos in this hop, and in order to maximise your chances of winning the $25 gift card. Make sure you leave a comment on each hop. The more you comment, the more chances you have to win. I hope you enjoyed these cards and how bright and colourful they are. They just add a bit more of a modern pop to the cards and are perfect for all sorts of different people. If you really struggle with sending out birthday cards because you might create too many flowery ones and your recipients don't like them, why not try this idea instead? Why not check out this other video for some more inspiration? Like, subscribe and comment to my channel. And if you shop at the Wow Embossing Powder shop, you'll find a discount code on here for 10% off your shopping. Until next time, happy crafting!